The text message came just as I was boarding my flight to Dad's funeral. Don't bother coming. You're not welcome here. My brother Richard's words hit me like a physical blow, making me stumble as I reached for my seat. The elderly woman next to me asked if I was okay. I wasn't. I'm Eloise, and this wasn't the first time my family had shut me out. But being banned from my own father's funeral? That was a new low, even for them. Miss, you need to turn off your phone now, the flight attendant said, hovering over me. I nodded numbly, but not before another message popped up from my sister Milena. I'm so sorry, Elle. Richard and Derek made the decision. I tried to stop them. 3 years earlier, they'd done the same thing with Mom's funeral. I'd shown up anyway, ignoring their protests. The memory of that day still burns. How dare you show your face here? Richard had grabbed my arm in the church parking lot, his fingers digging into my flesh. You abandoned the family when Mom needed you most. I didn't abandon anyone, I'd shot back, yanking free. I just chose a different path. Mom supported my decision. Derek had stepped between us, always playing peacekeeper. This isn't the time or place. Mom wouldn't want this. Mom wouldn't want a lot of things. Richard had sneered, like her only daughter choosing her precious career over family. The plane took off, and I closed my eyes, fighting back tears. My phone burned in my pocket, filled with unanswered messages from Luke, my business partner, asking if I needed him to come with me. I'd told him no. This was something I had to face alone. But now I wouldn't be facing anything at all. The woman beside me offered a tissue. Family troubles, dear? I let out a bitter laugh. You could say that. My brothers just banned me from our father's funeral. Her eyes widened. Good Lord, whatever for? Because I dared to dream bigger than our family business. I wiped my eyes. I wanted to build something of my own instead of being stuck in Dad's shadow forever. And that was enough for them too? They blame me for Mom's death, I said quietly. She had cancer. They think if I'd stayed home instead of moving to New York to start my company, she might have lived longer, as if my presence could have somehow stopped stage 4 pancreatic cancer. The plane reached cruising altitude, and the drink cart started making its rounds. I ordered a whiskey, something I rarely did. My phone vibrated again the moment I turned it back on after landing. This time, it was Derek. Elle, please understand, his message read. Dad's last weeks were hard. He kept asking why you weren't there. I typed back furiously. Maybe because none of you told me he was sick? 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Finally, we tried calling your office. Bullshit. My hands were shaking. You have my cell number. You have my email. You know where I live. Don't pretend this was anything but deliberate. Another message from Milena. They're starting the service in an hour. I can live stream it to you if you want. I stared at her message for a long time before responding. No, they wanted me out. I'm out. But tell Richard something for me? What? Tell him Dad's company won't be the only Howard legacy anymore. I'm going to build something so big, so successful, that our family name will be known for my achievements, not just Dad's. Elle, don't do anything rash. I turned off my phone and headed to the rental car counter. I wouldn't be attending Dad's funeral, but I had somewhere else to be. My company was about to sign our biggest deal yet, and I'd be damned if I'd let my family's rejection derail that. As I drove away from the airport, Mom's last words to me echoed in my head. Don't let them clip your wings, sweetheart. Fly as high as you can. Well, Mom, I thought, gripping the steering wheel tighter, I'm about to soar so high they'll never be able to reach me. And when they inevitably come crashing down, because with Richard and Derek's management style, they will, I'll be watching from above. Let them ban me from funerals. Let them blame me for things beyond my control. I'll show them what real power looks like, and when the time comes, They'll be the ones begging for my help. I pulled onto the highway, leaving my father's funeral behind. Ahead of me lay New York, my company, and my revenge. It would be served cold, calculated, and completely within the bounds of business law. After all, I am my father's daughter. You're insane, Eloise, Luke said, staring at the acquisition papers on my desk. Absolutely insane, and I love it. 5 years had passed since Dad's funeral. I'd poured every ounce of pain and rejection into building Howard Enterprises, and it had paid off spectacularly. Today, we were finalizing our 10th major acquisition. Sign here. I pushed the papers toward him. And our little startup officially becomes a corporate giant. Luke's pen hovered over the dotted line. You know this makes us direct competitors with your family's company, right? That's the point. I smiled, remembering Richard's text from 5 years ago. Sometimes karma needs a little push. The intercom buzzed. Miss Howard, your friend Willow is here. Send her in. Willow burst through the door, waving her phone. Have you seen the business news? Your brother Derek just gave the most desperate interview I've ever witnessed. Pull it up on the screen, Luke said, pointing to our conference display. Derek's face filled the wall, looking older and more haggard than I remembered.